They say a single act of kindness can change someone's life, but what if it also puts your own life in danger? This is the story of Sarah, and the stranger she brought home. Sarah's life was ordinary. Too ordinary. Every day she walked the same route home, past the same shops, the same corners, the same faces. Until one evening, she noticed a man sitting by the roadside. Not just any man. His clothes were torn, his hair unkempt, his hands trembling as though he hadn't eaten in days. His eyes, dark, sunken, almost haunted, caught hers for just a moment. Something in Sarah's chest tightened. She didn't know him. She had never seen him before. And yet, it felt like those eyes carried a story, one he wasn't ready to tell. She should have kept walking. But instead, she stopped. "Are you okay, sir?" she asked softly. His head lifted slowly, almost reluctantly. "I'll survive," he whispered, voice ragged. "Just tired, and hungry." Sarah hesitated. Every alarm in her mind screamed against it. But before she could second-guess herself, the words slipped out. "Would you like to come to my house? I can make you something warm." The man's eyes flickered with hesitation, then softened. "Thank you, miss. My name's Thomas." And just like that, Sarah's quiet, predictable life took a turn she couldn't undo. Her house was small, warm, familiar. But with Thomas sitting on her couch, it suddenly felt different. He spoke in fragments at first about once being a carpenter, about losing his job, then his wife, then everything else. Sarah listened, nodding, but a question lingered in her mind. Was this all true? Or just the story he told to anyone kind enough to stop? That night, as Thomas ate slowly at her table, his eyes scanned the room. Every picture, every corner, every unlocked door. Sarah swallowed uneasily. She told herself she was imagining things. But deep down, she wasn't sure. Over the following days, Thomas returned. He always seemed grateful, always kind, always humble. And then one evening, he arrived carrying something Sarah hadn't seen before, a small, dusty toolbox. Her smile faltered. "What's in there?" she asked, trying to sound casual. Thomas's lips curled into a strange smile. "These? Just my tools. The only thing I've kept all these years. They remind me of who I was." He opened the box, revealing old chisels, worn hammers, blades dulled with age. Sarah forced a smile back. But something about the way he touched those tools, like they were more than just objects, made her shiver. Soon, Thomas began fixing things around her home. A creaking door. A loose fence. A broken chair. Each time Sarah returned from work, she found something repaired, sometimes things she hadn't even noticed were broken. At first, it felt sweet. Thoughtful. But then she realized. Thomas was learning every inch of her house. Every weakness. Every lock. Every room. And Sarah couldn't decide if she was helping him, or letting danger inside her walls. One evening, she came home to find Thomas sitting in her living room, carving a small wooden figurine. It was a bird. Beautiful. Fragile. But when she picked it up, she noticed something strange carved into the base, an unfamiliar set of initials. "These aren't yours," she murmured. Thomas's smile didn't reach his eyes. Old habits. Old memories. He took the bird back quickly, almost too quickly. Sarah's heart skipped. Who really was this man? As weeks passed, Sarah noticed something else. When neighbors walked by, some stared at Thomas too long. Others whispered. One even told her quietly, "Be careful. I've seen him before." And not just on the streets. But when she asked what they meant, the neighbor only shook their head and walked away. That night, Sarah locked her bedroom door for the first time in years. One evening, as the sun bled orange across her walls, Thomas looked at her differently. "Sarah," he said softly, stepping closer. You've given me more than anyone ever has. You've made me feel alive again. Her breath caught. His voice was gentle, his eyes tender. Yet something about the way he hovered near her made her pulse quicken, half in warmth, half in fear. He reached for her hand. I don't just want your kindness, he whispered. I want you. Sarah froze. The man she had once pitied now stood inches away, confessing something far deeper. But was it love? Or something else he needed from her? He leaned closer, brushing her cheek with the faintest kiss. Sarah's chest tightened. She wanted to trust him. She wanted to believe in his story, in his gratitude, in his transformation. But as his lips lingered, a terrifying thought struck her. What if she had let a wolf into her home? That night, Thomas stayed later than usual. Too late. Sarah excused herself, retreating to her bedroom. She shut the door. This time, she locked it. But as she lay in bed, her heart pounding, she swore she heard it. The faint sound of footsteps in the hallway. Then the soft creak of floorboards outside her door. And finally, the quietest rattle of her doorknob. Sarah's breath caught. She told herself she was imagining it. She told herself Thomas was harmless. But deep down, she knew, her life would never be the same again. Because kindness always has a price. Would you have done what Sarah did? Would you have let Thomas inside? Or would you have walked away? Sometimes, the scariest stories start with the simplest choices. Kindly leave a comment, like, and subscribe for more exclusive contents.